After emotions following the announcement of the American peace plan for Ukraine, it's time for diplomacy to work out the final shape of the document. A true flurry of high-level meetings has already begun, with European leaders voicing their concerns over Donald Trump's proposal. And to talk about it, we're joined by Maciej, Sklenár, former Slovakian Defense Minister. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
So Europe wants to consult a 28-point plan with both Kiev and Washington. Now, what are the European leaders hoping for here?
Certainly, they're hoping to being able to put themselves into the negotiation and adjust the plan. The plan is obviously drafted in a way to reward Russia, to degrade Ukraine, and constitutes a threat if it's implemented for Europe, especially. So the Europeans have a tough job ahead of them to negotiate with the US, with Ukraine, to come to a new idea about the plan, how to put it on paper and how to negotiate then with Russia.
It was a lengthy proposal consisting of 28 points. Now, which points of the proposal are the most likely to be changed?
It would seem that obviously everything is possible, as we have seen also previously with plans put forward from Donald Trump or from the US side. There are several things that need to be redrafted or reconsidered in the plan. Certainly, from a European point of view, from a Ukrainian point of view, the most obvious ones are the territories and their management after the plan. The security guarantees or the security limitations that Ukraine will need to fulfill once this plan potentially goes into implementation. Then there's the issue of possible prosecution of crimes that happened in the full-scale invasion and in the war in Ukraine. There's a lot that needs to be discussed. Certainly, each and every of the stipulations of the plan really deserves a second look from what we have seen so far.
Now, Donald Trump himself says that the plan is not final. Why then has he given Ukraine time until Thursday to accept it?
We've seen this before. Donald Trump's idea of negotiation is first and foremost to scare the other side in negotiations. It seems like it's his tactic here again. The good news is that tomorrow the negotiations with Ukraine will begin in Geneva. It's not ideal, but it's certainly the point where we want to see some progress being made in the plan and in the conditions that it entails. And based on the negotiations in Geneva with the Europeans, then we will see what is actually possible with this newest initiative of the US president.
Right, now talking about negotiation tactics, could the plan emerging into public be, a part of a Russian strategy to put some pressure on the US and Europe now?
Certainly, that could be one of the scenarios, but it looks like this is a way for Russia to make sure that their conditions are being discussed as the basis for any possible negotiations, which is obviously a situation that Ukraine doesn't really have the possibility of accepting or starting the negotiations here. So this is it looks like the negotiating positions would be very unbalanced and unfair at the moment. Let's see what the negotiations in Geneva over the next few days will bring, and what will be actually the situation at the end of the next week. We will see. Hopefully, it will change to a better situation where Ukraine can actually start considering some of the parts of the plan and whether or not it is prepared to make some concessions.
Right. Now, as we've heard from our reporter in Kiev, the public opinion is strongly against this plan. The public opinion in Ukraine, of course. Now, could Ukraine afford to just reject the plan at all?
Well, Certainly, Ukraine cannot accept the plan as it is. It needs to negotiate. Ukraine has continuously offered the possibility of negotiating a solution to the current situation. In that sense, Ukraine certainly will be looking for ways how to start negotiations. Certainly, the plan as it is right now on the table is not the possibility. And I think Donald Trump realized that once he admitted that this is not the final version of the plan, and it needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed. Ukraine will be there. It will make everything possible to stop this. It seems that the only side who cannot really stop the war in Ukraine is Russia, and that makes the negotiation more complicated because everybody wants to negotiate. Russia pretends to want to negotiate, but in the end doesn't really accept any progress.
Right, because so far Russia claims that the plan has not been consulted with the Kremlin. Could this mean that they are about to reject it, as you say?
Well, it would be very unlikely if it wasn't consulted. From what we see in the media, it looks like the U.S. and Russia both worked on at least on some parts of the plan. I'm not saying that, but it's probably true that the final version was proposed by the U.S. side. But still, if Russia didn't work on this plan, then it's even more concerning that the U.S. would propose a plan that would be so strongly in favor of Russia. So I would expect that at least the Russian envoy for negotiations has seen parts of the plan and was able to introduce at least some language into the proposal. Right.
Now, Donald Trump has, let's say, threatened Ukraine with withdrawing his support for the war-torn country. Now, can Europe, which currently provides Ukraine with what it needs to survive, continue to support Ukraine effectively without the American participation?
Europe has proven that it can support significantly Ukraine, even with a US which is less predictable in its steps and plans when it comes to supporting Ukraine in its defense against Russia. Yes, this would mean that Europe has to step up again and come with even more support and find even more ways to support Russia. But also, this might the pressure might help a little bit Europeans to dig deeper, since a plan, if it goes like this, would be, as I said, a threat to Europe and would have concrete impact on the security and defense of Europe, of the European Union. So, this is not only about Ukraine support, but the Europeans certainly have to make sure what is the best and most effective way of dealing with the Russia threat, both with Ukraine and in the European or the EU territory as well.
Well, the situation seems extremely dynamic at the moment. Now, what awaits us in the next few days? And do you think that next Thursday we will actually learn the final shape of a peace agreement?
We've been in this situation before. We have seen signals that the negotiations would start. We had proposals on the table, maybe not as complex as this one, but certainly I would expect over the next days to have negotiations, very dynamic and intense ones in Geneva with the relevant stakeholders. We have seen, many of the principal representatives adjusting their plans so they are able to dedicate their time to this, which is good. It creates the opportunity. I would expect to see over the course of next days, guarantee the news of whatever is the advancement in the negotiations over the proposal, but I'm sure that the bulk of the negotiations will be held in a very confidential setting, and hopefully will be able to bring some positive results, identify at least those points in the plan, and there are I would hope that there are some that can be used as a constructive basis to find future arrangements.
Maciej Sklenár, former Slovakian Defense Minister, was our guest this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching, and stay with us for more news and interviews here on TVP World.